Hello everybody. This is actually my second attempt at making this video work, so let me try this again. Um, this video is in response to the Why I Do Not Support Troops video published by Liberty Chick. Um, I actually am a active duty service member in the Army, been in the Army for about 8 years, and just wanted to express my opinion on some of the points that she brought up in her video, where maybe I feel that she is misinformed or maybe even brainwashed. Um, the first, one of the first things that really bugged me about it, I guess, is when she was saying that, in no way, shape, or form, she doesn't support the soldiers, which is her choice. She doesn't have to support the soldiers. I would like to remind her that, we as an organization are a tool of our government. Um, we cannot afford the luxury of being political. We go where we're told to go. Um, really, I think if she has angst at what we're doing, it should be more directed at the political structure. Um, especially the legislative, and executive branches. They're the ones that fund us and deploy us. We don't get a whole lot of choice in the matter. Um, she mentioned in her video about putting "Do not support the troop" bumper stickers on her car. Hey, that is your choice. You can do that if you want to. Um, I don't know if that's supposed to be just a dig at people who do support the troops, or if it's an actual personalized attack on the soldiers themselves. Once again, that's your choice. You can do it. I don't think it's very tasteful, but hey, that's your choice. Um, then you go on to talk about how you will not send any care packages. Okay, no one's forcing you to send care packages. We get plenty. Your one care package is not going to make or break the military. So, um, okay, I got you. Next, you talk about not clapping on the plane for us, and I gotta tell you, okay, that's no problem. Most soldiers I know are pretty humble, and when we are going to and from deployment or R&R or whatever, we prefer the not necessarily being incognito, but a lot of us don't necessarily like getting the pat on the back or the claps or the handshakes and stuff. And it's not because we're not appreciative; it's because we're humble. Most of us join the military because we are selfless. We serve because we want to help people and uh, we want to serve. So, and we don't do it for the kudos. I don't know where you're getting this impression that soldiers, you know, want to be recognized and given kudos by the civilian populace. But I mean, at least I can speak for myself when I say that I prefer a little bit more peace and quiet. I'm on my way to go visit my family. I don't necessarily want all the extra attention. Most soldiers don't. Um, I know you talk about in the video that soldiers are, American soldiers are directly responsible for over 1 million deaths in warfare to unarmed civilians since World War II. Um, I'm not buying that. I think the information that you're putting out there is a bit skewered. I think if you take maybe the civilian um, casualties of the conflicts with everything involved, you could be correct. If you include like the Korean War, the civilian populace killed by, say, North Koreans as well, the Chinese, if you're going into Vietnam, all that, I don't think that you are being accurate on it. I think you're intentionally misrepresenting the information to make people believe that American soldiers are just going around shooting unarmed civilians because that's what we do, which we do not. Um, I don't know where you get that impression from, but I really think that it's unfortunate that you feel that way. Um, Furthermore, I'm trying to remember everything from your video. Um, you talk about a collateral damage video, murder video, and I'm not sure exactly what video you're referencing. I do know, and I can tell you this from my own personal experience, is that soldiers will go out of our way to prevent civilian casualties, period. We don't like to see civilians get hurt. We like to protect civilians. Um, I don't know who you're talking to or what impressions you're getting. And bad things do happen. Don't get me wrong, bad things do happen, but it is a vast, vast, vast minority. And soldiers look down with disgust on their peers that commit any sort of crime against civilians, period. You go in on your video to talk about your 3 different classifications of soldiers, military members. Um, Either being dumb, evil, or morally compromised, which, is a whole other, whole other thing in itself. First of all, as far as being dumb, you say, with all the information at our fingertips and the internet, how could we join the military? Well, I propose that you are probably getting your sources information from some pretty biased and skewered places. Um, there's plenty of information out there that will talk about just how helpful soldiers have been, or the U.S. military have been in general, in areas that we've gone into, whether it be Iraq or Afghanistan. Building schools, installing democratic processes, water treatment plants, um, teaching people how to defend themselves, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we could go on all day about it, which I'm not prepared to do, but there's a lot of good that goes on. And to insinuate that soldiers are dumb because we join the military just kind of shows me that you really have a closed-minded point of view as far as your information. That not just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't make them dumb or stupid or anything like that. It makes them have a different opinion. And I'll challenge you maybe to go and go check out maybe some different sources of information that kind of counter, or in conflict with your own. Um, I don't know, talk to some soldiers. Anyway, so, I can't speak for all soldiers, but most of the soldiers I know are very intelligent, very perceptive. Um, Many have degrees and or currently going to school while in the military, whether it be online while we're downrange or, taking time out of their schedule to go while we're home. So by no way or means are soldiers dumb. I really think that. I don't know if you're going just for personal insults there, but it's just not right. Number 2, evil. Uh, I'm not evil. Most soldiers I know, or actually all the soldiers I know, are not evil. Um, we're not serial killers in uniform. The military has a lot of psychological tests before you even get in. And while you're in the military, there are always ongoing psychological evaluations. If someone's truly nuts, they get kicked out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Um, it's just how it is. Um, I don't know where you're getting this whole idea that we're serial killers in uniform. That's pretty insulting. Um, we're just people, like anybody else. We join the military for a variety of different reasons, whether it be to serve, because we're patriotic, which I know you talked about blind patriotism earlier in the video. I wanted to hit that point, but I didn't have notes today. So, what's your definition of blind patriotism? Because, you know, I would really like to hear your definition of blind patriotism. Just because someone joins the military doesn't mean they're blindly patriotic. Generally, generally mean we have a desire to serve our fellow man, our fellow country. But as I was saying, um, most soldiers want to serve because they want to serve their country. Maybe they didn't uh, have the money for college at the time and are doing this for money for college. They want to put that pressure on their parents. You know, there's so many different reasons why people join, and to just try to say that people have a bloodlust, it's silly at best and incredibly insulting at worst. But I think it comes down to the fact that you're misinformed. That's why I guess I don't get too angry about it. But, then you also go on to mention in your video about how we get paid to chop people's heads off and paid to stab people to death. Uh, I'd never heard of an American soldier chopping somebody's head off. Maybe there's a bonus incentive program I don't know about going on, cash for heads or something. I have never heard of U.S. soldier companies cutting somebody's head off. I would very much like to see a video of that or something, because I'm going to call you out on that one. I think you're full of crap. stabbing somebody to death. Um, I guess is more plausible, maybe many years ago. Since I've been in, and I've been in since '03, I haven't heard of any time in our conflict where somebody has stabbed somebody to death. Uh, I mean, maybe it's happened to like a enemy soldier, enemy combatant, or something. You know, if they got in close quarters combat. But as far as like a civilian, they would be held accountable for that action and would spend the rest of their life in prison. I know you talked about James Baker and how he gave testimony about raping a 14-year-old girl and killing her family. Well, I would like to point out that, as you mentioned, it was testimony. He was in trial, and he will more than likely spend the rest of his life in prison. We hold our soldiers accountable for their actions. If they do something bad, they are held accountable for it, and they are stigmatized within the rest of the military community. We don't advocate that at all. Um, I know the guys that were involved with Abu Ghraib, they went to prison, and rightfully so, and they gave the military a black eye. But I'll, also remind you that for every, you know, uh, bad apple that is there, there's hundreds of thousands of soldiers doing good things, doing the right things, and that are caring, good people. Um, you also mentioned in your video about how you had friends in the military that you did not support the decision and you didn't want anything to do with them. I would say that reflects a lot on your character. How would a true friend, say that because somebody is doing something that they don't necessarily agree with, then they're not going to be their friend anymore. They want nothing to do with them. I think that shows a bit about your character that maybe you're not quite the friend that you would like to think that you are. That if you're that close-minded, um, I wouldn't want you as a friend. That's just me. So in conclusion, I mean, I don't think I hit as many points in this video as I probably would have liked to, but it was pretty disturbing when I watched it last night. Um, at first, when I saw your video, I was angry, and then kind of sad, and now I'm just disappointed. It seems that you are an intelligent, articulate person, um, very opinionated, but I just think that you're grossly misinformed, possibly slightly brainwashed. And maybe you're just surrounding yourself with people that think the exact same way that you do. I would encourage you to maybe talk to some soldiers and service members. We're not automatons. We're not robots. We have thoughts and feelings and opinions, and a good majority of us are pretty informed about what's going on. Um, and for you to insinuate that we don't see like Middle Easterns, a human, for example, is pretty insulting in itself. So like, once again, we join to serve. We join to help people. Um, we are capable of immense acts of generosity. And, as far as giving out food, water, and toys to kids and interaction that we've had with civilian populace, um, I guess I'm pretty sad that you feel the way that you do. Because it just really seems that you're grossly misinformed about what we do, how we do it, uh, and our feelings on the matter. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video by just saying that I really do hope that you change your outlook and opinion on some of the things that you're saying. Not only are they really insulting, and I'm sure you mean them to be insulting, but you're insulting with definitely without getting a whole story and knowing exactly what it is that you're talking about. So I'd encourage you to talk to some more soldiers. I'm sure I'll get plenty of hate mail and videos for this, but yeah, that's the nature of the beast. Um, thanks for listening.